Okay guys, finally the headers have arrived, and these are not name brand expensive headers. These were found on eBay. I wasn't going to say the name of the company, but Speed Engineering is the company that sold these. It comes as a kit. It comes with all the gaskets and the bolts, and I mean the flanges look good, nice and thick. There is a scratch, a pretty deep scratch on this one that I'm going to sand out. Flanges on the head side, I mean super thick. Welds actually look really good on these. I mean everything looks pretty good. I mean these are not show quality. They actually sent them without any kind of packing, so they kind of got a little bit scratched up. I don't know if that was during shipping or not, but I mean they're fine for daily driver, just like I plan on doing here. I'm a little worried about all these flanges lining up. We got the EGR port here. Looks like it's not really the right angle, but we'll see. And also worried about the angle of these. There's not a whole lot of movement in that exhaust system, so if these flanges aren't lined up, could run into problems. There's only one way to find out, and that's to actually fit them up in there. So that's what we're gonna do. Like I said, it comes with gaskets. These seem like pretty good quality gaskets. And one thing you're going to notice here is there's two different types of gasket for the collector, and that's because each side is different. I didn't even notice that when I took them off, but I noticed it now when I look at the gaskets. The collectors are different flanges. And then you got the exhaust gasket for the head. Also comes with bolts, but I've already found a problem. These bolts aren't the right size for the head anyway. This is what they sent. They sent a bunch of these. The size that you need is 8mm. This is the size. Well, they're all this size right here. Now this size, this is the first bolt on the driver's side, front of the motor. There is a larger bolt, one larger bolt, and it's got a stud for some reason. There was nothing on this, but it is a stud for some reason. I have no idea why. But, I mean, this is the right size for that one, but the rest of them, way too big. So, I'm a little worried about that because it looks like somebody looked at the first bolt on the front of the motor, figured they were all that same size, so that's what they supplied with the kit. But you know, a little further looking, and they would have known that the bolts are not the same size on the rest of them. So you're gonna need 8mm. I think I got enough 8mm, so I'm gonna try to do the install with what I have. Also, they come with a EGR block off plate if you wanted to block that off. I plan on running mine, so I'm going to try to get mine hooked up to the port here. Like I said, kind of looks like the wrong kind of an angle. Maybe that EGR can bend a little bit. Hopefully, we'll find out here. We'll find out together because these are going to be going in tonight. I'm going to start with the passenger side because it's a whole lot easier to work on that side. Kind of give an idea of how difficult these are going to be to get installed. So I guess enough of the babbling here. We're going to get these installed. Just want to do a little comparison here. So we'll see how they work out. Okay, so a good tool to have while you're doing this job is one of these roll-lock discs. It's kind of like a coarse scuffing pad. It's made for the roll-lock deal that you can put on like a drill or a grinder, and it's coarse enough to take off gasket material, but it's not so coarse that it takes metal off. And this really helps for cleaning up all your gasket surfaces. Alrighty, we're going to attempt to get these headers installed here. I've already got my front bolt. I've already got my front bolt installed because there's like notches where you can just slide the header on. I've got my gasket back there. I found some 8mm bolts that I'm going to be using. They're just standard standard bolts. I got anti-seize on my bolts. So because like I said, this is steel bolts going into aluminum, so it's always a good idea to get yourself some anti-seize. Okay guys, so we got our first issue here with these headers. You can see I got bolts in all of them except for right here. Now this bolt will not go in. When I look inside there with the light, looks like the hole is off to the left a little bit. So what I'm going to end up doing is pulling these off, pulling this header off. I'm going to drill that hole out a little bigger. I'm not about to force a bolt in there and risk cross-threading the head. Not after all this work of getting all these bolts out and trying to do this job right. I'm not about to screw it up now. So this header's going to come off. A little bit of work. I kind of test fitted the EGR system here, the valve and all the tubes, and it looks like we're going to be pretty close to making that. This flange here, still a little worried about this back flange. I don't know if you can see here, but we got a pretty good gap in the back. And I'm hoping that because the driver's side exhaust is unhooked, kind of everything is being pulled downward that way. Alrighty, we're all drilled out. Everything's smoothed out. We are gonna go bolt it up, see how she fits now. Okay guys, so I got this one bolted in. I was able to get that. Still had a little bit of trouble getting that one in, but I got it in without cross-threading it. I've got them kind of cinched down a little bit. I haven't got my EGR connected, and I haven't got my collector connected. But I'm going to go to the driver's side now. I'm going to get that one bolted up. And like I said, hopefully we'll close this gap back here a little bit once we pull that side up first. So the other side's quite a bit harder to show you. Maybe I'll try to get some video here and we'll see what happens. Okay guys, so I got the side in, no real issues, everything lined up, bolts went in. Now on to the collector. It's a little off there. It looks like it could be a little bit of a struggle to get that lined up. I'm going to get my gasket down there. We're going to get some bolts and we're going to give this a try. We're going to do this side first, then we'll do the passenger side. Okay, so getting this collector flange on wasn't that big of a deal actually. It actually went pretty straightforward. The bolts seem a little short, but I guess when you tighten them up, they don't come out of the nut, which is probably a good thing for corrosion. Okay, so I got the bolts and everything lined up on this side on the collector. And I mean, they went in okay. Had to go down there and pull the exhaust system down a little bit to get the gasket in there. But the only thing I'm a little bit concerned about is there's a pretty good gap back here yet. This back one. This one here is together. That one there is mostly together. But there's a pretty good gap back here. It's got me a little concerned. I actually had to get another bolt that was longer than what they gave me to be able to keep all this lined up. And I'm just hoping everything is going to come together without stressing something else out and causing trouble. Okay, so I got my bolts all tight over here, the collector. I was able to pull that tight. I don't know if you can see in there, there's the bolt. I had the longer bolt I had to use in the back to be able to get it tight. And I mean, it looks like I got it all tightened down and everything looks okay. Just worried about the pressure that's happening from having to kind of twist that collector around. You know, some people think that some of the reason that these bolts break off on these Chevy trucks is because all the weight of the exhaust, the front of the exhaust system, is partially on the bolts on the exhaust manifold. So, you know, I don't know. I don't really know what causes them to break. You know, it could have been just GM got some cheap bad parts. That's been known to happen. They had intake gaskets that were known to go bad. I think they just got a huge batch of bad parts. So we'll see, I guess. I'm going to run this setup. I got everything tightened down. I got to do my EGR yet. So we're not in the clear yet. I got to get that all bolted down. And we will see how that fits. Okay guys, so we're about there. I got the EGR system all buttoned up. It went on pretty good. I had to go get a gasket. They didn't send a gasket with the kit, with the header kit, which I think they probably should have. I got all my coil packs installed. I've got them plugged in. A couple of them are pretty close to the tubes, but I think we'll be okay. New dipstick. I got the new dipstick in there. You can't probably see it down there, but you can see it up there. It was rotted out, so I got everything plugged in, the EGR plugged back in. Got the coil packs on this side. Got a new PCV valve in the back there. The other one, I think I shook it, I couldn't hear it, so I just assumed it wasn't no good. Everything's tight here. Got the spark plugs plugged back in, wires over here. Well, let's fire it up, see what happens. Okay, so I'm not exactly sure what that what the surging is. It didn't do that before the headers. So I never did reconnect this wire, so I'm not exactly sure if that maybe has something to do with it or not. Once it warmed up there, I couldn't leave it run the whole time, but once it warmed up, it didn't do it anymore. Actually, it's cooled down now, so I'll fire it up here again, and we'll see what happens. Well, she seems to be running okay now. Starting up fine. The AC was on too. It seems like when I disconnect the battery, hook the battery back up, the AC wants to turn on. So that might have been why it was surging on the first startup. But it seems to be doing fine now. So that's the install, guys, of headers. I'll have a link in the description of the video where I got these. You know, they fit pretty good, I guess, for cheap set of headers. 170 some bucks, I think, is what I paid for them. So not bad. So I guess that's gonna do it for me, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one.